Hello, hope you're having a great day. Now, my plans for today have changed ever so slightly because the plan was for me to head over to near where my other garage is, which is about half an hour away, for 12 noon because I had someone coming round to drop off some stuff, some materials basically that I use in my garage from a guy who works for a company that I promote on my channel, on the other channel, of course. But as it turns out, he's quite local to here and he's going to be coming around in about half an hour's time. Now, this morning was a battle for me to get out of bed, as it always is. You know, if you watched yesterday's video on this channel, you would have seen that I stayed up till 1:30, I think it was, editing the next video on the car channel that I will be putting out this evening. So yeah, it was always going to be a battle this morning. It was no worse really than what it usually is, I don't think. You know, I ended up actually getting out of bed about 9:15 and then not really getting going until about 9:30. Now, one thing I have thought that I might switch up to help me in the mornings. If you've been watching these videos, you'll know that ages ago I made an alarm for my phone from clips of Andrew Tate shouting, basically. So I used to get up to Andrew Tate shouting at me. And then that kind of stopped working, right, after a while. So then, you know, more recently, but quite a while ago now, I made an alarm of my own voice, you know, shouting and screaming at myself to get out of bed. And I think what's happened now is that alarm has now lost its potency. So I think I need to create another alarm. I don't know whether I'm going to do another alarm with my own voice and just change what I'm saying, or maybe go back to another alarm from Andrew Tate, or maybe find someone else on the internet who's angrily motivational and make an alarm from their voice to help me get out of bed. Because I found that these sort of little things I do to give me a kickstart and get me out of bed, they just lose their potency after a while. I remember ages ago, I basically changed the wallpaper on my phone to say, you know, don't be lazy. And yeah, that sort of lost its potency as well. I've still got that wallpaper on my phone, but yeah, that was sort of enough when I first did it, that anytime I try and, you know, scroll on my phone and not, you know, carry on working or whatever, that little message on my phone would stop me scrolling. But yeah, that kind of doesn't work anymore. Although, to be fair, I'm less prone to just sitting there for ages scrolling nowadays anyway, because I'm further along in my self-improvement, although I'm not anywhere near where I want to be, especially, as I say, when it comes to getting up in the morning. So yeah, maybe I'll make myself a new alarm today, and see if that changes things. But, you know, as I keep mentioning, you know, it's my inherent laziness that keeps me in bed in the morning, because I've basically trained it for decades. You know, I've never been an early morning person. It's never been something that I've tried to deal with. I've always embraced it and just cultivated this laziness. Anyway, as I say, the guy that I was going to go and meet is now coming round here. As usual, I'm turning the camera on after I've been through my walk, written a journal, had a meditation. The meditation didn't go as well as yesterday's. Yesterday's was really good, but, you know, it was still beneficial. Meditating every day is still really beneficial. And yeah, now it's time for me to bang out a workout. I'm going to bang out a shoulder session. So I'm going to use my light dumbbells to do some side lateral raises. Then I'm going to do some shoulder presses. I'm actually going to hold them like this to do the shoulder presses rather than like this, because when I do my shoulder sessions in the gym, I always hold the machine like this when I'm doing the heavier shoulder press in the gym. So yeah, I might as well switch it up and hold them differently here. And then I'll pick up the heavier dumbbells and I'll do these things, which I'm not actually sure what they're called, but I think they sort of engage similar muscles to when you do the shrugs with the bar, which is what I did yesterday. So yeah, I'm going to try and bang out this workout and hopefully a cold shower before my friend pops round. And then, yeah, then I can have my breakfast once he leaves and dive into whatever I'm doing today. I was planning to, you know, go around the garage and start a video because I was going to be in that area. I may still do that. I'll have to see what the weather's saying, because when I got my car out of the garage, it actually started snowing ever so slightly. So we'll see. But before that, workout. Wow, I can normally do 100 that way. I only managed 50 that way. All right, you join me making myself some lunch, and yes, as always, I'm having chicken sandwiches with cheese and salad and a bit of mayonnaise. But yeah, after the guy came round earlier on to drop some bits off of me, the guy that I was planning to meet near my garage, I actually just jumped in the cold shower and then he arrived, so I had to jump out. So once he'd left, I had my cold shower, then had my breakfast, had a bit of a nightmare with my egg poacher, which delayed me a little bit. But anyway, had my breakfast, and then I was just chipping away at some work that I had to do before I left the house, if I was going to leave the house. And it got to like 2 p.m, I think it was, or maybe 1:45, and it was like, right, if I'm going to go to the other garage, it had to be then, right? Otherwise it wouldn't have been worth it. It was just about worth it. I could have gone to the other garage, I could have filmed like a walk round of the car that's just come back from my friend's workshop, because when we dropped it off yesterday, me and my beautiful girlfriend Kat hoovered it out and stuff, and you know, you can really see what's been done now that the car's been unmasked and stuff. So I was going to do that, talk about my next plans, show some parts that were restored by a company. So that's sort of fulfilling a business, you know, promo obligation. And then I could have continued the video another day. So it was just about worth going around to the garage to do that. And as I opened the door, I could see that it was snowing outside. And I rang my mate who lives near my garage, and he said, yeah, it was just starting to snow around there. So it really wouldn't have been worth me going over there unless I could crack right on with what I just mentioned. And I can't do that if it's snowing, right? Can't bring the other car out in the snow. So I decided not to go to the garage. And I can definitely sense today that my laziness is really holding me back. You know, it's not just in the mornings that I've got this inherent laziness. It's in me all the time. You know, it's been cultivated from decades of being a waste man, of being a loser, of being lazy, you know. And the way I can sort of explain it is, you know, in the morning I wake up, I've got that inherent laziness, and once I overcome that, usually way later than I would like, you know, and I do start getting going with my sort of regimented morning routine and, you know, getting going with my quite repetitive, regimented life. Some might say that it's a boring life, but I sort of understand that for me, at least, and for a lot of people, having a more regimented, sort of strict life is the way to success, and success to me isn't boring. But yeah, I find that, you know, once I get going, that inherent laziness can't hold me back. Now, what's happened today is my sort of plans have been interrupted. Now, if I had have left the house at 11:30 and gone round to the other garage, and I would have arranged to meet that guy that came round today round there, you know, I would have already been round at the garage, so I would have probably done something around the garage. So my day was kind of already planned out for me. I might have had to take my MacBook with me to do some work that I might not have got done before I left the house. But ultimately, my day got interrupted, right? And I find that when that happens, you know, I sort of get out of a flow, and then that's when my laziness can sort of come in and interrupt me. And I'm sitting here now and I'm still doing work, you know. Once I decided not to go to the garage, I'm still cracking on with work, you know. I've sort of finalised some posts on my social media that I probably would have done, you know, when I got back from the garage later or whatever. So I'm doing stuff, but I've definitely sort of sat there and spent a little bit of time scrolling. And, you know, there's a few things in my head that I could have cracked on with now that I have decided to stay at home. My garage here at home could do with a tidy up, and I sort of couldn't persuade myself to do that. I've still got to do my tax return, which is due in, I think, 10 or 11 days. You know, and it's something that I can't really be bothered to do. I'm not really looking forward to it. So I could have done that, and I haven't been able to persuade myself to do that. And yeah, there's just a couple of things that I just haven't been able to persuade myself to do, because my inherent laziness has had an opportunity to sort of come in and take advantage of the fact that my flow has been interrupted, and, you know, it's holding me back. Now, look, I'm still having a productive day. I'm still getting stuff done. You know, I'm not being a waste man like I was in the past, and I'm super grateful for that. I'm super grateful that nowadays my bad days are better than my good days were years ago, even though I probably couldn't see it then. So, you know, we've got to acknowledge how things have improved, but, you know, it's definitely the case that when my flow gets interrupted, that's when my laziness can come in and get me. And I suppose it makes sense because, you know, when you go to sleep, that's kind of your flow getting interrupted as well, right? You know, you might be work, you know, on business, on fitness or whatever. And then unfortunately, once a day, we have to go to sleep and rest. And that in itself is an interruption of our flow, right? And that's probably why in the mornings, my laziness overcomes me. And yeah, it kind of explains why even in the daytime, if my flow gets interrupted, my laziness can come and get me. But yeah, one thing's for sure, it's still going to be a great day. I'm going to the gym later for a leg session, and I'm kind of thinking that I can use this day to benefit me, right? Now, because I haven't gone around the garage, I don't have any footage filmed that I might have come back home and spent hours, you know, at least initially editing. So I haven't got that to do. As I say, the posts that I need to put on my social media for today are done. So even though I haven't sort of persuaded myself to do my tax return, I haven't persuaded myself to go around the garage and tidy that up, I should and will go to the garage a bit earlier today, which might mean I get back earlier, have my dinner earlier, and then I might be in a better position to start, you know, putting things in motion to maybe start getting a more sensible routine in terms of going to bed earlier and then maybe practicing getting up earlier. I don't know. But I'm definitely going to create a new alarm, as I mentioned earlier, and we'll see how that does in the morning. But yeah, right now, chicken sarnies, protein yogurt, another coffee. In fact, I made a flask of coffee when I was just about to leave the house. So I've been drinking that here at home. Yeah, I really was like literally walking out the door with all my stuff when I saw that it was snowing. But anyway, lunchtime and then back into some sort of work. Oh, yes. Protein and protein. Oh, and caffeine. All right, so I've just made it to the gym, and the truth is I just haven't been on it enough today at all. As I already mentioned, you know, my sort of plans got disrupted, and maybe that's why my laziness has been able to come in. I'm in a position where I'm not that much under pressure. I've always got loads of stuff to do, but yeah, I'm sort of in a position where I've kind of got room to take my foot off the gas a bit. So maybe that's why, you know, I'm getting a bit lazy now, because I live an interesting life and I've always got something to do. You know, I can normally bounce between different activities so that I'm always doing something, and I'm grateful now that I've got into the habit of doing that, you know. So for instance, if I can't be bothered to do my tax return, like I said earlier, you know, it was kind of too late to start tidying my garage at home because it was getting dark. You know, there's always something else I can do when I say can't be bothered to do some of the other things that I need to do, right? So today I found myself watching, you know, high value stuff on YouTube, and then I just thought, you know, I should really just go to the gym. You know, this was about 4 o'clock if I remember rightly, but you know, I found myself in a position where I wasn't really up for going to the gym at that point, right? So I just started watching this sort of, you know, valuable content. And I've said before that sometimes you can just be watching valuable content on YouTube and, you know, you're kind of justifying not taking action and doing other things that you should. So I decided to go and give myself a haircut and a beard trim whilst listening to this valuable content, right? You know, kill two birds with the same stone. You know, in the past, there's been situations where, say I've been editing all day and then I need a break from the editing. So instead of just sitting back and doing nothing, I'll go to the gym, you know? So I'm having a break from editing, but I'm going to the gym. So I'm still doing something that needs to be done, right? Sometimes it works the other way around, you know? I can't be bothered to go to the gym and I sort of put that off until later, on the understanding that I'm going to keep my head in my MacBook, right? So yeah, I've kind of got into the habit where I will bounce between, you know, different things that I need to do rather than ending up doing nothing. And I'm grateful that I've got to a position where I can do that. But on the other hand, when there's situations like last night, for instance, where I assumed I wasn't going to have time to edit the video that I wanted to go up this evening, you know, during today, because I thought I was going to be out all day. So in that situation, I was able to get myself to sit up until 1:30 at night to edit that video and get it done, because in that situation, I didn't have the luxury of being sort of able to not be bothered to edit the video and bounce on to something else. So, you know, you've got to be willing to grit your teeth and crack on with something you don't necessarily want to when you have to, but at the same time, you know, be open to bouncing between various things that need to be done instead of doing nothing, if that makes any sense. But yeah, right now I need to get myself in the gym. I'm here doing a leg session today. you know, probably the least favourite, I'd say, out of all the sessions I do in the gym, although it is normally the one that I put the most effort into for some reason. Yeah, so I'm going to do a full leg session. It's 6:45 now, so hopefully if it's not too busy in there, I can get out at 8, maybe just after. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to jump on the treadmill for my warm-up, I think. My ankle still is hurting, but I reckon if I slow the treadmill down for my fast, steep incline walk, it should be fine. I'll still keep it super steep, you know, gradient 10. But yeah, just go a little bit slower and we'll see how we get on. You know, I only go on there for like 0.6 of a mile just to get my body warm. Then I'm going to bang out the 6 machines on legs and yeah, going to go hard as usual. All right, back home after a really decent leg session. I did do the leg extension at the end, but by then my battery on my phone had died, so I wasn't able to get a clip of it. But yeah, I was able to hit the normal reps that I normally do, you know, 15 reps at 160 pounds, and then I do my upset to 170 pound, and I normally bang out 5 reps at that, and then 5 reps on my 2 drop sets. But yeah, really decent leg session. I've mentioned before how I sort of struggle on the leg curl to hit 10 reps on all 3 of my sets, and tonight I was able to do that, although on the 3rd set I was barely able to hit the 10th. But yeah, it just shows I'm getting stronger on that, because normally I bang out a 10 rep first set and then I'm doing like 7s and 8s on the 2nd and 3rd. So yeah, it's cool to sort of notice that I'm getting stronger. And I think on a couple of the machines I'm probably going to have to go up a weight soon. The hip abduction and the hip adduction, you know, I was doing I think 25 reps. I normally do 15 on that, so I might have to go up one on that. And the calf press, I'm already up to like 235 pounds, which seems like a lot, but you know, I'm hitting 20 reps easily now. So maybe I need to go up a weight on that, but I'm sort of worried because that is quite a lot of weight. Maybe I could just focus on getting my form right to yeah, make it a bit harder and get more results out of the weight that I'm already at. I don't know, I just make this stuff up as I go along. But yeah, the gym was really busy tonight. More busy than I can remember ever seeing it, to be honest. But, you know, it is what it is. I suppose it's January, isn't it? So there's probably loads of people that are still on their January or New Year's resolutions. Do let me know in the comments how any of you guys are getting on with your New Year's resolutions. I don't really have one, apart from just to keep working as hard as I can. I would like, by the end of the year, to try and suss this issue I have in the morning. I still haven't recorded myself a new alarm, actually. But anyway, time now for me to have some dinner. My beautiful girlfriend Kat has knocked me up some chicken, egg and vegetables. So I've actually got 1.5 chicken breasts, because these are Costco chicken breasts. I'm sure they feed their chickens steroids because the breasts are just massive. But yeah, I didn't want to just have one, and yeah, 2 would have been too much. But plenty of protein on that plate. Another 25 grams of protein in the protein yogurt. And I'm actually going to have some peronaise with my chicken. Trying to put on weight, so a few extra calories, a bit more carbs from the peronaise is allowed. All right, I have created myself a new alarm with my voice angrily telling myself to not be a rested loser by going back to bed, but instead be a tired winner by staying up. And we'll see if that makes a difference to how I overcome or not my inherently lazy mind in the morning. I've purposely not dived into much work this evening. It's not like I've got any footage to edit or anything anyway, but I have just ordered some parts that I should have ordered before now, that I'm going to need for up and coming videos on my new project. So yeah, with that done, I'm actually now going to go to bed, and it's only 11:15. So if I can actually get to sleep relatively quick, then that, along with hopefully my new alarm, will hopefully mean that I'll be able to get up a bit easier tomorrow. But, you know, tomorrow's another day. I'll deal with it when it comes. I am planning to spend the whole day out at my garage tomorrow, as long as the weather's not atrocious, because, yeah, I can't pull my new project out of the garage if it's raining or snowing, because there's no windows in it or anything. But, yeah, if I can get done what I plan to get done tomorrow, it's definitely going to keep me on track with, you know, the frequency of the videos. And yeah, that project is getting exciting now. Those of you that watch the other channel will know what I mean. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'm going to go to bed. Massive thanks to everyone who has tuned in. Hope it's been somewhat helpful or motivational. I'll be back for another video tomorrow for those of you that want to follow me on my day. Feel free to say hello in the comments and we'll have a chat, or get in touch through the usual channels. All the links to everything will be in the description as usual. But other than that, I'll chat to you tomorrow.